Hello, everyone. A very logical day to all of you. And let's see today what we have on this weekend, March 25th, the first editorial of the Indian Express. Whatever we will be reading now, I would just give you one disclaimer, or rather, one small tip that when we read, we should be able to read it very objectively, unattached, that is detached, right? In a detached manner, that means in a very disinterested manner, very neutrally, so that you don't keep on forming your opinions on some matter that you are reading. Your task is to read and understand what the author's point of view is, right? So let's see here, disqualified. Yeah, if you have been reading for the last reading articles and newspapers for the last 3 4 days, you will be able to guess at least what this disqualified is. So, one sentence, ill advised as it was, is picked up from a longish 2019 election speech by Rahul Gandhi in Kolar, Karnataka. A complaint is made by a BJP leader in Surat who claims he is aggrieved by its disparaging reference to thieves who are Modis. Right? Now you can understand the meaning of the word aggrieved. That means he's pained. Grief word आ जाता है यहाँ पे. Right? He's pained by the disparaging reference. Disparaging would mean something that is insulting. Reference to thieves who are Modis. In 2023, amid a storm in parliament led by ministers and ruling party MPs against Rahul's comments in London on Indian democracy in danger, a Surat court convicts him for defaming an imagined community. Within 24 hours of the verdict, the Lok Sabha Secretariat, in accordance with Section 83 of the Reference of People Act 1951, disqualifies Rahul as Lok Sabha MP, even as the court gives him a period of 30 days to appeal. Right now, even as the court gives him a period of 30 days to appeal, actually sets the tone for the passage. It reveals the author's thought process that, see, whatever happened, the author disapproves of it. ठीक है, सिर्फ इस वर्ड से even as the court gives him a period of 30 days, that means अगर 30 days हो जाते उसके बाद कुछ होता तो फिर disqualify करते. अभी एकदम से disqualify नहीं करना था. That is what the author says. Ironically, in this, Rahul's own brash act of tearing up the UPA ordinance that would have allowed a convicted MLA MP to continue in office till appeals were disposed of has returned to haunt. Right? His own brash act of tearing up the ordinance. Right? Ordinance would be the rule. Right? That would have allowed this rule, this statement would have allowed a convicted MLA MP to continue in office. मतलब जिस पेपर से वो जो ऑर्डिनेंस था जो रूल था जो उसे मिला उसे टेयर कर दिया. Otherwise वो कंटिन्यू कर सकते थे. Right? Only days earlier, Rahul was at the receiving end of the BJP's formidable firepower for making a speech in Parliament, alleging the Narendra Modi government's complicities in the rise and rise before the recent market blip of the House of Adani's. Rise and fall नहीं है. ये rise and rise मतलब वो बढ़ता ही गया, बढ़ता ही गया, बढ़ता ही गया. इस बात पर भी राहुल गांधी ने कुछ कहा था. मिस्टर राहुल गांधी ने कुछ कहा था. Right now, the sense is unmistakable of overstretched law. What we can understand, according to the author, what he can understand is the overstretched law, opportunistically weaponized rule. मतलब मौके के साथ रूल को वेपन बना के यूज किया गया है and unabashed institutional haste in the disqualification of Rahul Gandhi, MP. Right? So, according to the author, all this is quite quick, quite something that has not been given much thought, much proper thought, you can say. It raises serious questions about the politics of vindictiveness, revenge, that will go to great and greater lengths to disallow space to the political opponent. Disallow space to the political opponent मतलब जो आपका political opponent है आप उसे कोई space नहीं देंगे. So what you are doing is you are using the rule as a weapon and waiting for an opportunity to use it. According to the law only you are using it. It is nothing is illegal, but then yes. this is happening, the unabashed institutional haste, right? So from this, we can understand that the author disapproves of what the ruling party has done by disqualifying uh, Mr. Rahul Gandhi. So here comes the important point. One, his own rash act of tearing up. तो मतलब ये उनका जो एक्शन है ये बताते हैं कि व्हाट डिड राहुल गांधी डू व्हेन ही गॉट दिस ऑर्डिनेंस एंड दिस पार्ट ऑफ द पैराग्राफ द लास्ट 2-3 lines is telling you about what the author thinks that this is unmistakable. What is it? That overstretched law, opportunistically weaponized rule and unabashed institutional haste. ये तीन चीजें हैं जो कि इसने गवर्नमेंट ने यूज की हैं in the disqualification of Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Then, of course, the three Rahul controversies: his attack on the PM in Parliament, his remarks in Cambridge, and his Kohler speech. All these three are disconnected. They involve different institutional processes and platforms. On the face of it, also, those three furores have nothing to do with the lodging of 44 FIRs and arrest of 4 persons, including 2 printing press owners by Delhi police after posters, including some seeking the ouster of PM Modi, that is Modi Hatao Desh Bachao, were found pasted on walls and poles in the national capital. Right? So all this is going on. Right? ये इतना अरेस्ट हुआ है. फ्यूरोस मतलब फ्यूरी के साथ जो प्रोटेस्ट किया जाता है. ठीक है? Now, but look closer, and a line runs through them. So what he says is these three are three different occasions, 1, 2, and 3. अलग अलग जगह पे हुए हैं, अलग अलग प्रोसेसेस थे ये, कोई स्पीच थी, कोई कुछ था. Places were different, right? Now still there's a line running through them. It points to a powerful government that has a large mandate and that by all accounts holds on to its popularity, but one that shows a disturbingly thin skin and a willingness to use any means thinly disguised as legal process to bludgeon its adversary. ठीक है, कुछ भी करेंगे, अपने एडवर्सरी को हटा देंगे. They are ready to use any means, though legal, but any means, right? And thinly disguised as legal. And having a disturbingly thin skin का मतलब होता है, thin skin means a person who is affected very quickly. Just a few days back, we had read this at one of the editorial relating to the same incident. कि अगर इतना ज्यादा पार्लियामेंट में दे आर कमिंग अप विद debate also, so why is this debate required? We had read this editorial, no? So he is giving this is giving the same idea. So ruling establishment that abandons humility as it equates itself to the nation and to the state. Else, why should criticism of a government be deemed scandalous, even anti-national in a country or on foreign shores? ठीक है, इसका मतलब अगर हम गवर्नमेंट को कोई क्रिटिसाइज कर रहा है तो इससे स्कैंडल क्या हुआ, स्कैंडलस क्यों है? चाहे हम अपनी कंट्री में करते हैं या बाहर की कंट्री में करते हैं, उसने देश के या गवर्नमेंट के खिलाफ कुछ बोला या देश को कुछ बोला तो दे कंसिडर इट एंटी नेशनल एंड देन द रूलिंग पार्टी इज गेटिंग अफेक्टेड वेरी immensely by it. Now, it points to the institution of the state, the local thana, and the local court, showing a lack of due diligence and application of mind and giving those in power the benefit of the doubt and the right of way. So, what are these institutions of the police and the people who are in power locally? It shows a lack of due diligence. Diligence is hard work, right? इसका मतलब जो उस एरिया के लोग, एरिया का नहीं मतलब जो लोग हैं, right? The institutions involved है, they are not giving proper thought to all this, that what implication will this action have? What is it like showing the Modi government as or the central government as? ये चीजें वो लोग नहीं सोच रहे हैं. This is according to the author, right? And this was the main point what we just read. कि अगर हमने कुछ रूलिंग पार्टी के खिलाफ बोला तो वो स्कैंडलस क्यों हो जाता है? Why is it a crime then? The verdict of the Surat court that fixates on a sentence and the alacrity of the Lok Sabha secretariat to not just add up to the forced exit of Wayanad MP from parliament. Alacrity is the speed, the promptness. कितना क्विक था, मतलब वर्डिक्ट सुनाया और यहां से उनको एमपी से होने से डिस्क्वालीफाई कर दिया. दिस वाज वेरी क्विक. They also add to the deepening impression of the increasing hardness of the state. Increasing hardness of the state मतलब जो state है, जो state यहाँ पे मतलब हुआ गवर्नमेंट, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. तो जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट है वो किस तरीके से हार्ड या इनसेंसिटिव होती जा रही है, उसका इम्प्रेशन, और वो इम्प्रेशन और गहरा होता जा रहा है. दिस इज व्हाट इज रिफ्लेक्टिंग द रूलिंग गवर्नमेंट एज बीइंग वेरी हार्ड. How does the parliament minus Rahul help the BJP or the center? पार्लियामेंट माइनस राहुल मतलब अगर पार्लियामेंट में राहुल गांधी नहीं रहेंगे तो किस तरीके से बीजेपी या सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, हाउ इज इट गोइंग टू बेनिफिट? That's a valid question, but a secondary one. The primary message is that a campaign speech seen to insult the PM could get you out of the house you were elected to. Printing critical posters could get you arrested. In the run up to elections 2024, as the Modi government moves ahead with those heavy steps and the long arm of the law, it must look at its G20 posters on democracy and then in the mirror. मतलब बोलते हैं ना कि इन्होंने डेमोक्रेसी पे पोस्टर्स बनाए G20 के लिए, तो पहले अपने पोस्टर्स देखो कि ये जी डेमोक्रेसी को मतलब दे आर एडवोकेटिंग डेमोक्रेसी, दे आर प्रोपगेटिंग डेमोक्रेसी, राइट? दे आर कंसर्न्ड अबाउट डेमोक्रेसी. तो पहले पोस्टर्स देखो और फिर अपना आईना देखो, तो आईने में आपको दिखेगा कि आप खुद डेमोक्रेसी के साथ क्या कर रहे हो. दिस इज व्हाट द ऑथर्स टेक इज. नाउ व्हेन यू रीड ऑल दिस, right, you'll be able to again come up with the inference questions. What all can be understood from this, logically deduced. ठीक है, हम कंक्लूजन वाला क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे कर सकेंगे और अजम्पशन वाला क्वेश्चन कर सकेंगे. उसने अजम्पशन क्या किया, देखो, जब उसने कहा कि दैट्स अ वैलिड क्वेश्चन बट अ सेकेंडरी वन, तो इसमें अजम्पशन क्या था? इसमें when he is thinking कि without Mr. Rahul Gandhi, how is the Modi government going to be benefited? Right. So he doesn't require an answer here. He says, no, that's a secondary question. That means that is not important, that how is the government going to be benefited. What is more important is the stance of the government. What is more important is the attitude of the government, what it is thinking. It is becoming very strong, very autocratic. ये problem है और ये this is a point of concern, you can say. So that's a valid question, but a secondary one. The primary message is that a campaign speech seen to insult the prime minister could get you out of the house you were elected to. Printing critical posters could get you arrested. Now, these two are examples, but to establish what? Right? So, what can be inferred from all this? What the author infers from all this is till the end also. Let's see, on very small things, the central government is becoming very autocratic, as I just said, right? So it is becoming hard on the people who are saying anything against the ruling party, right? Now, the last also, when he says it must look at its G20 posters on democracy and then in the mirror. अब इस सेंटेंस में से हम इन्फ्रेंस समझ सकते हैं कि उसने क्या मतलब था. That means the government is not working or not acting according to a democratic nation. ठीक है, अभी इसने सिर्फ क्या कहा कि G20 पोस्टर्स को देखो और खुद को देखो मिरर में. तो अब हम इसमें से और क्या समझ सकते हैं कि गवर्नमेंट इज नॉट वर्किंग अकॉर्डिंग टू व्हाट इज said about democracy. ठीक है, तो this is quite a good passage on which your assumption, not your assumptions, but the reasoning will definitely be required. And secondly, as I had given in the beginning of this session, that you don't need to get attached to what is given here. You don't need to form your own opinions. Read very neutrally. सिर्फ पैसेज समझो और पैसेज में से ऑथर का दिमाग जो बोलता है, ऑथर ने जो कहा है, उस पे ध्यान दो. Right? So these two sentences become the important points in the paragraph. increasing hardness of the state. And here is the main idea, according to the author. He says that Rahul Gandhi's exit from parliament the day after a conviction for a speech erodes democracy. Erode means you have done the word erosion, right? Is to be washed away, wear away. तो वो डेमोक्रेसी खत्म होती जा रही है यहाँ से. जिस तरीके से अभी एक्शंस एक के बाद एक इंसिडेंट्स हुए, दैट इज इट. Right. So let us see what we have in the vocabulary. Yesterday we did not do many words. We did those words simultaneously in the passage. Today we have a good set of words. So erodes, as I wrote now, it is wear away, eat away, or it is the soil erosion that we usually talk about. That is wash away. ठीक है, एक सुपरफिशियल अपर लेयर होती है, उसे निकाल देना. Aggrieved will be hurt, distressed. You have this word grief, उससे relate कर दो. Sorrow. Aggrieved is sorrowful. Disparaging, we have heard this word, disparaging tone होती है, something that is insulting. So disapproving, reproachful. Then brash. Brash में already we have the word rash. तो rash decisions होते हैं, brash decisions होते हैं, मतलब careless. और केयरलेस का वर्ड एक हेस्टी हो जाता है क्योंकि बहुत जल्दबाजी में लिया गया डिसीजन है, तो उसे हम बोल सकते हैं इम्प्रूडेंट. सोचा समझा हुआ डिसीजन नहीं है तो इम्प्रूडेंट होता है, बहुत जल्दबाजी में लिया गया है, इम्पेचुअस हो जाएगा. फॉर्मिडेबल. फॉर्मिडेबल इज डिफिकल्ट, चैलेंजिंग, डॉन्टिंग, समथिंग दैट इज इंटिमिडेटिंग. Complicities. Complicit means to be together with someone in the action, maybe in the crime. तो कॉम्प्लिसिट हो जाते हैं, वो कन्नाइवेंस हो जाता है, कोलैबोरेशन हो जाएगा, या सपोर्ट हो जाता है, सपोर्टिंग समबडी इन हिज क्राइम, तो कॉम्प्लिसिट हो जाएगा. विंडिक्टिवनेस, हम ये वर्ड बहुत बार पढ़ चुके हैं. यू हैव अ सिंपल वर्ड दैट इज मैलिस. मैलिस, स्पाइटफुल इज हेट्रेड, और हेट्रेड होगा तो रिवेंज जैसा हो जाएगा, वो विंडिक्टिवनेस हो जाएगा. आउस्टर को आउट से रिलेट कर दो, राइट? तो आउट इज टू रिमूवल. A coup, you have read this word coup also. Do overthrow the government होता है ना? Overthrow the government. That's called a coup. A dismissal. Expulsion में expelled word के साथ कर लो इसे relate. तो expelled से expulsion हो जाएगा. Bludgeon is to beat, bash or club. मतलब मारना, batter. Deemed. It has been deemed here. Deemed means considered. अच्छा, or it's a deemed university. तो उसे टॉप लेवल पे कंसिडर किया जाता है, रिगार्डेड. You did not deem it important. That means you did not consider this thing important. Scandalous, shocking, indecent, disgraceful. स्कैंडल क्रिएट करना, स्कैंडल मानना किसी चीज को, डिसग्रेसफुल हो गया. डिलीजेंस कर चुके हैं कई बार वर्ड. डिलीजेंट होता है दैट इज हार्ड वर्क. ठीक है. इंडस्ट्री, एसिडुअसनेस. एसिडुअसनेस को हम डोंकी से रिलेट कर सकते हैं. जैसे डोंकी बहुत मेहनत का काम करता है, वैसे एसिडुअस होता है जो कि बहुत मेहनती होते हैं. इंडस्ट्री मीन्स द हार्ड वर्क. Alacrity, I said swiftness, promptness, quickness, बहुत जल्दी में कोई काम करना. एक्टिविटी से रिलेटेड होता है तो आप उसको एक्टिव बोल सकते हो. Another thing that you can use, another word that you can use is, it sounds almost similar. Alacrity will be similar to celerity. And it will also be similar to agility. But there's a little difference. Agility mainly action से relate होता है. ठीक है. Celerity और alacrity क्विकनेस और स्पीड से रिलेट होता है. दो ऑल दीज थ्री वर्ड्स आर synonyms only. So you can relate, alacrity, agility and celerity. या तो आप A से रिलेट कर दो अका. तो alacrity, celerity, agility तीनों words almost similar हैं, right? So that's all for today. And again, Saturday, Sunday. So your task will be to revise all the words that you have written, as well as read all those passages that you have missed in the from the newspaper. So that's all for today. Thank you and see you next week. Have a logical weekend. कितने मिनट का हुआ?